All right, Hugo. Well, here we are from Debbie's Palace, and we're about to start the One Distinctly Cool Scene series. The what now? The One Distinctly Cool Scene series, where we take one scene from DC movies and talk about those. Now, this is a complete ripoff of the One Marvelous Scene series, so we're going to do a DC one. I thought it was One Decidedly Cool Scene. Well, decidedly sounded kind of weird, and One Definitively Cool. I mean, definitive would just be one, so I want other people to make videos, so One Distinctly Cool Scene, I think. Well, all right, that's what you want to name it. Yeah, that is what I want to name it. So, oh, what are we going to pick? We're going to pick a scene. Oh, I know what you're going to pick. Do you? You're going to pick something from The Dark Knight. I know I would. I'd pick the whole opening school bus scene, probably. Well, that is a good scene, but surprisingly enough, I'm not picking one from Dark Knight. What? I thought you loved that movie. I do love that movie, and Heath Ledger's Joker, but I'm not going to pick a scene from that. Well, first of all, I want to point out, is this just the DCEU, the new stuff? No. I want to go back as far as you want. You want the old Christopher Reeves Superman? Go for that. Wherever you want to do. Anywhere in there. What about cartoons? I don't know. There's been a lot of cartoons, and I love cartoons, but maybe just movies. Of course, then again, I think Mask of the Phantasm had a theatrical release. You know what? You do whatever you want. But I'm going to pick a scene from Man of Steel. Man of Steel? Why are you doing that one? I mean, that movie's okay, but it's... I like the movie a lot. Full disclosure here. Stop saying full disclosure. I'm a really big fan of the Zack Snyder DC universe that he tried to start there. The two movie trilogy that he got, because of course we're not counting Justice League. No, we're not. No, Justice League broke my heart. But that's another story for another day. So, but I really like Zack Snyder's work on DC, and I really like Man of Steel. I like Batman v Superman even better. Well, it's a little better, but they're both not great. Well, that's what I hear. But I'm going to argue that. I think Man of Steel is great for a lot of reasons, and here's one. Well, what is it? What scene are you going to pick? I'm picking Pa Kent's pickup truck talk. The heck is that? You know what? We're just going to show it. I'll show the clip. Actually, let me set it up though first. Superman, Clark Kent, is a child in this scene. He has superpowers, of course. He's an alien. And his father, Jonathan Kent, doesn't want anyone to know about that because he's afraid what might happen if they know his kid's an alien. So he doesn't want Clark to show his powers off in front of anyone. But on the way home from school, Clark's school bus goes off a bridge into the water, and all the students are drowning in the bus, and Clark decides to save them and push the bus up to the shore. Well, yeah, that's what anyone would do. Well, I'm not sure what Paul Kent would do, but let's find out.
I just wanted to help.
I know you did, but we talked about this. Right? Right? We talked about this. You have... Oh, Clark, you have to keep this side of yourself a secret.
What was I supposed to do? Just let him die?
Maybe.
Ugh. What kind of a scene for a superhero movie was that? Well, come on! That's just the point. This is a superhero movie, and they're not afraid to put a scene like that in there. A scene that really asks some hard questions. Well, yeah, I get, because here's the thing. And, that scene keeps going. There's more to it and more talk, but I just want to cut it right there, because that's all I'm really interested in. I don't even want to, I'm going to go sit over here. Okay, you go sit over there. Here's the thing. This movie's not afraid to ask just terrible questions of you. Like, what are you willing to do for love? Like, Jonathan Kent clearly loves his son. He loves him so much that when the question comes up of, is this whole school bus worth of children drowning worth protecting your child? He hesitates long enough to answer, maybe. Now, he doesn't go with a clear yes, and who really could, but he doesn't say no. And I think it's interesting how this points out how good intentions can sometimes lead to terrible decisions. And I think it's pretty much made a point that Pa Kent is a good person in this movie. I mean, maybe he did something terrible behind the scenes, but for all we know, he's a good person. And here he is willing to consider a terrible choice, an almost evil choice, in order to protect what he loves. And that's a really tough call. How far would you go to protect someone you love? Would you let a school bus worth of children drown? And these aren't easy questions, and that's why most superhero movies, I think, don't bother to ask questions like this. You just see people punching each other and other stuff. But these movies, Zack Snyder's in particular, no, he's just gonna ask those difficult questions. Yeah, really difficult questions. Yeah, all the way through to the end, up until the Zod. Full spoilers if you haven't seen it. Up until Superman snaps Zod's neck. Oh, I don't know that he should have done that. Well, he probably shouldn't have done that. I almost picked that scene, and I know a lot of people have a lot of trouble with that scene. But it asks a question: what would you do? Here's someone, Zod, threatening to kill the whole planet, basically, and he says he'll never stop. What do? You hold the only surviving member of your species in your hands, but he wants to kill your entire new planet that you live on. He's tough. Yeah, what do? And, Superman in that moment chose to break his neck. Yeah, it was really rough. It was really rough. And I think one of the rougher parts was the scream afterwards. This was clearly something he didn't want to do. This killed this man. He didn't want to kill anyone. And, people complain that scene shouldn't have happened, or that he he should have flown away with Zod. Yeah, he should have just flown away. Why didn't you just fly out the window with him? Well, because then what? What are you going to do? Put him in jail? I mean, they already put him in jail in a black hole and he escaped. He's not going to stop. Well, that's true. Yeah, he said flat out, never. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to kill this whole planet. He didn't really have much choice there. And regardless, whether or not you think he chose right or wrong, they were willing to put that question at the forefront at the end of that movie. What do you choose? And that was the choice with the school bus. I mean, I don't want to talk about the other scene. We'll talk about the pickup talk. What would you choose? Would you choose an evil choice to save something you love? It reminds me of Anakin's choices in Episode 3 of Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith. He wants to keep Padme alive so much that he seeks out a dark power and becomes evil and murders a room full of children in order to try and protect what he loves. And in that case, you could argue that's more selfish, because you'd say, loving someone and wanting to protect them, that's a selfless thing. But it's in Anakin's case, it's more, no, I don't want to live without her. And I don't want that pain, so that's why I'll keep her alive. Now, I don't think Paul Kent went that route. I think he legitimately wanted to protect his son. I don't think he wanted a bus full of children to die. But he was willing to consider it to save his son. And that's a rough call and a rough choice, and I appreciate a movie that'll ask that, especially a superhero movie. This is going long. Yeah, it's going really long. We got to wrap this up. Okay, so pick out a DC scene and make a video about it. One distinctly cool scene, and then we'll make a playlist, and it'll be great. Thank you from Debbie's Palace. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Debbie's Palace. That wasn't the scene I'd pick, but whatever. Yeah, thank you. Bye.
You saw how Pete's mom reacted, right? She was scared, Clark.
Why?
People are afraid of what they don't understand.
Is she right? God do this to me. Tell me.